welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Monday, July 26th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. And right now, also watch the Olympics. I have all the various social medias. If you would like to follow me on any of those places, I have Facebook. Oh no, I did it out of order again. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Ravelry, whatever. The order really doesn't matter. It's just that my brain is like, this does not sound right, but it is. I also will have show notes. Links to things that I'll be talking about will be on my blog. So if you're on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below, or if you're on my blog already, everything is already there. In addition to that, I also work at a yarn shop. It is called Pearly Girls. It is in Spring, Texas. It's just right outside of Old Town Spring. So I will leave all the website, social media, all that jazz, all the places. If you are interested, if you are local, come and hang out with us. Or if you're visiting or whatever, please come say hi. We would love that. I have things to talk about. We got things to talk about. Not a lot of things, I feel like, but still things, nonetheless. All the same. All the same. I think that's what I was trying to go for. Whatever. I've got things to talk about. So, without further ado, if you want to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold. I have a lot of laundry to fold eventually. Maybe you're on your lunch break. Maybe you're working out. Maybe you're relaxing. Just doing something that brings you joy, and you come back and join me for some crafty chat. So, quick shout out. There's a new little drive-through coffee place that is right by the grocery store that we go to. So this morning, I'd finished working out. I was gonna go pick up the groceries, and so I drove by and picked up a coffee for myself to last the entire day. I did this this past Thursday when I worked, because Thursdays are a long day. We were open till 8, fun fact if you didn't know. And so I got the biggest one so I could make it last all day and I could have yummy coffee. And so that is what I've done again this morning, and I'll probably do it again on Thursday when I work again. Or tomorrow when you're watching this, potentially on Wednesday when this podcast comes out. Oh, timelines. But anyway, they're called Mudslingers. It's a local owner. It is very good, and this straw is very big. I feel like it's a very big straw. But this is really just delicious coffee. And I like sweet coffee. I am not a black coffee person at all, which is fine. It's just how I like my coffee. But Sam, my husband, if you are new to the podcast, he is quite the coffee aficionado, and he tried this and then something else that I got a couple weeks ago. That was sweet, and it did pass the coffee test, the Sam coffee test. He did say that it was very good and had a nice coffee flavor. So I feel like that is a very good sign. In my mind, it passes the test. Not that I needed a test to be given, but now we know. So good. But yeah, I'm making this little bit last for the rest of the day, so we're drinking it slowly. I need to add more ice, really, but you know what I need to do is I need to order it with less ice, and then that way there'll be more. You know? I also forgot to put on my rings. That's okay. It is what it is, but at least I have clean hair, and that's all that really matters, you know, because Monday is hair wash day. And we love clean hair. Always. just sharing all the random facts about my life when my hair wash day is. So everyone, again, we'll just go over that there's a secret project that I'm working on. I cannot share any information about it with you, unfortunately, but it is almost done. It is so close to being done, and I am just astounded. Both with like the actual project and also with my ability to, I'm gonna give myself a pat on the shoulder for this one because it is a poop ton of knitting and it is glorious. It's absolutely glorious. I had some setbacks this past week. Some frogging had to happen. I was very unhappy because, you know, deadlines, having to frog progress that you've made is very sad. And when this thing comes out, more stories and information will be shared. I've taken some pictures of previous setbacks because they were truly terrifying. Tried to perform knitting surgery, it didn't happen, had to frog. But again, this thing is just so incredible, and it's just so, I don't even know. I am still so floored and honored to have been part of this situation, event, thing, I don't know, project. So it has been so cool, and like I just can't even, but it's almost done. It is almost done. And so hopefully it will be my first finished object of the Pearly Girls Summer Games, because that is also going on right now because the Olympics have started, everyone. I don't know if you are watching the Olympics or if you are Olympic watching fans. I love the Olympics. Like, it's an event. Like, I'll watch events that I have no idea what's going on. Like yesterday, I just turned it on and I watched a little bit of Taekwondo and a little bit of Judo, and that was pretty cool. And now I know a little bit more about it, which is really awesome. And it's just really, really cool. And of course we have all the favorite events like gymnastics and swimming, and I mentioned last week that we are watching weightlifting, and Sam is in fact watching weightlifting right now while he works, which is pretty cool, because yay from working from home, which won't last for much longer. He has to go back to the office eventually, and by eventually I mean next week, which is kind of sad, but that's okay. We've also seen some skateboarding. We have seen fencing, because Sam, fun fact, used to be, he fenced in high school. What else have we seen? Watched a little bit of the equestrian, something equestrian. It looked like dressage. I've seen a little bit of the triathlon. So it's just really cool. I just really enjoy it, and I think it's also really neat to see how the Olympics and just sporting in general can bring people together, and just like, we all have this common thing in common, I guess, and especially after 2020, I think it's just really incredible just to be a part of that and watching from home. So I've been loving that, but also there's knitting events going on. Pearly Girls is hosting the Pearly Girls Summer Games, and that will run the duration of the Olympics. So they started bright and early on Thursday morning, or Friday morning, excuse me, this past Friday, and they watched the opening ceremonies at bright and early 5:30 in the morning, and everybody has their projects. It's anything that is challenging to you, and if you are late to the game, you can still cast on. It's just that it has to be done by or before August 8th, and then you get entered to win a prize. So you do have to prove that you cast it on between this amount of time, though, because that is just how it works. But my goals are to finish as many things as I possibly can, because I have a lot of test knits due, and needing to have progress, needing to be started. And my challenge is to work on learning and mastering, I guess, knitting 2 sleeves at a time. And which is very fitting because all my test knits right now are sweaters. So that is very exciting. I have a lot of opportunities up ahead of me, but we will see, because again, I have to get this big thing done first. That is the priority. And but like the finish line, I could, like, I am so close to finishing it. I'm so close. Like, I don't know. And I mean, there's also a factor of like, I could knit and knit and knit and knit, and then my hands start hurting and then I have to take a break. So there is also the physical aspect of I cannot knit for forever. As any other athlete would, you know, sometimes you get a leg cramp and you just can't continue on. Sometimes your hands start hurting and you just have to take a break. I'm such an athlete. That being said, I work out. I feel good about it. In that regard, I am an athlete. I'm also a knitting athlete, you know. I do knitting sprints. This big project legitimately feels like a sprinting, like, marathon thing, and I love it, and I cannot wait to talk more about it once it is announced. It's just so cool. Anyway, so the other test knits that I have going are currently only 2. I did finish my Sunday Fun Day sweater, which is really awesome. I finished it last week on some day that I cannot remember, but it is currently blocking. I am, the bottom is blocking. Last week I discussed how I was going to block it or go about blocking it because I didn't want the top to grow any. I really like the fit of the top, and I knew that the way that the yarn is, it would stretch quite a bit. So what I did was I just draped the sweater over the side of the sink, and I just let the bottom soak because the ribbing was folding up. And I think that worked pretty well. It's currently laying on the floor. The cat will probably sit on it soon. And I hope to take pictures of it tomorrow. Fingers crossed that it is dry. If not, I will take pictures of it on Thursday because I got a replacement phone tripod thing for the tripod that this camera is on, because that is how I take my pictures, and I have a little Bluetooth remote. Fun fact, if Sam does not take my pictures, that is usually how I take my pictures. Or it has been in the past. But I had another one of those and it was very well loved, and it kind of broke after a while. It was glued back together many times, and then it did not want to be glued anymore. So I hope to take pictures of that soon. Again, that's a Sunday Fun Day sweater by Jill or Knitterella on Instagram and Ravelry. It is a DK weight V-neck boxy sweater. It's got drop sleeves. It is color blocked. It's a great stash buster. And it's just been super fun to knit. It's very chill and relaxed, and I think if you have never knit a V-neck before, I feel like this would be a good first V-neck sweater because it's just super cute and very straightforward. The pattern is written really well. It fits so well. There's a wide variety of wide range of sizes. There we go. So yes, that is very exciting. I'm not sure when exactly that pattern is being published, but it is coming out soon. And it is just all happiness and joy. I just really love it, and I cannot wait to wear it when it cools down, whenever that happens. I was also hoping for some rain today because I feel like the past couple of weeks there's always been this massive thunderstorm that comes through while I'm recording, and today is not one of those days. I thought we were going to have a streak. That's what I was trying to think of a streak of thunderstorms on Mondays, and unfortunately that did not happen today. It is very hot and very humid and very sunny. So this is what I worked on as soon as I finished the Sunday Funday sweater, because I believe I finished it at work. Oh yeah, I did. I definitely finished my Sunday Funday sweater at work, and then I started working on this, and this looks super cool. I am just very happy with how that looks. This is currently on a Scooby because I need to get some more needles. I have not gotten needles in such a long time. I feel like I've been really good about like not getting needles. I don't even remember the last time I got needles. That when I wasn't like on a trip, you know, because will we count that? I don't know. The times I have gotten needles, maybe in the past year, 2 years, year and a half, it was because I was on a trip to see my parents in Colorado. Otherwise, I have not bought needles. But I need some needles. I'm just like falling over my words today. What is with today? It's because there's no thunderstorm. And I'm just like, I need the rain. Enough with the sunshine. Basically what I'm trying to say is that both of these test knits are on the same needle, roughly. And I have some that are in this general size of needle. It's just that the cord lengths that I have are not what I need or not what I want. And so, I mean, if I'm gonna be getting new needles, I'm getting Chowgu because those are my favorite. And then we can have the nice points because that's, right? They are my favorite needle. So anyway, this is the Wild Poppy sweater. So yeah, this is on a Scooby right now because I removed these needles to work on and cast on something else that I needed those needles for because I wanted to cast it on. I needed to take a break from the big massive thing, and 2, I wanted more content for today. So I had to put this on a Scooby, and this also smells really good. Oh, I love that. I don't know why I hadn't smelled it yet. Ooh, that is so nice. So this is ECR Alpaca 2. We love this. It's a wonderful maroon. We cannot go wrong. And then I believe I am using some Suburban Stitcher, and the only reason why I say I believe is because I do not have the ball band, but I'm pretty sure it's Suburban Stitcher. I just don't know what the colorway name is. So that is my contrasting color. This is a top-down, very loose gauge yoked sweater. We've got some color work, obviously. We've got some lace in there. You can see, it's kind of hard to tell. Ooh, there we go. You can kind of see it. There's some yarn overs in there. So I'm making good progress with this. I just need to get some other needles, you know. So that is going well. I am excited with my progress. I did get quite a lot done after I finished my Sunday Funday sweater, which is really awesome. And I hope to, you know what, fingers crossed, divide for my sleeves soon. Because, so it is knit at a very loose gauge. So, the needle's pretty big. And yes, because I'm using the same needle on a fingering weight sweater and a worsted weight sweater. So yes, it's a very loose gauge, and that's, I mean, it's creating a beautiful fabric, and because of that, it goes quickly, which is really nice. So the project that I stole those needles from is the one that this is being used for, which this is, I love this. Like, don't get me wrong, it is the, like, very inconvenient to travel with it or carry it around anywhere, because, like, I don't have any bags big enough that this, I mean, it fits in bags. It's just like a hassle to pull it in or put it in, and like, I don't know. So it does fit in here. It's just that there's then hardly any room for anything else. And I have to store the work in progress and the other yarns in here because it is a colorwork sweater. I also forgot to say the sweater I just showed you is Wild Poppy by Tiff Nealand of Tiff Nealand Designs. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. I just got carried away by the needle sizes and all that jazz. So this one that I'm about to show you is Wild Joy by Samantha Gurin, and I'm very happy with how this is turning out. Like, this is just work from last night. I needed a break, and I also needed to like work on something other than the needle size I was on because my hands were hurting, and I needed just like chill. Also get that like cast on adrenaline rush because I want to cast on things so badly, but I cannot. I keep thinking, everyone, this is super random. I cannot stop thinking about the bubble cardigan from Stephen West, and it is like all I can think about. Knitting wise, and getting this big thing done is finishing the big thing and then casting on a bubble cardigan. I want it so badly. And I will stash dive. I will create a fun color palette. It will be such a fun time. Oh my goodness. But there's so many other things that I also really want to cast on, but I just can't stop thinking about the bubble cardigan. And like, part of me wants to pull a color palette for it, but I don't know. I feel like I do it, if I do that and I can't cast it on, it will just be sad. It'll just make me sad. So probably will not do it quite yet. Anyway, so here are my beautiful floats. We do love a good float picture preview. We do have some short rows in the back opposed to in the front. And yeah, I have just barely started the color work, obviously. The gray, the light gray I should say, is from Threads, Loops and Threads, Threads and Loops. I don't even know. It's a lot of yarn. And I would like to say that I know I can get 3 sweaters out of it. I just don't know. Could I even get 4 sweaters out of it? I don't know. I am very excited about it. I do not know what this pink is. I do not know what this gray is. But all I know is that I'm just so happy with how it's turning out. So then, as the color work moves along, progresses, I will throw in this maroon. Because again, who doesn't love a good maroon? Hello, I went to Texas A&M and I'm obsessed with maroon, except I was obsessed with maroon even before that. So, we're not going to say that it's because of where I went to college. Though where I went to college definitely helped that, so I'm not complaining. Also not ashamed, like it's just, it's a beautiful color. So I'm so excited to see how this plays together. And this, I do know what this is. This is Loft, and I do have another ball, so I'll be holding it double. And this is what I used to knit up my Drift Lines cowl by Shannon Cook. That was a test knit. That pattern is not out yet, but I would assume it's coming out soon. So that is very exciting. Again, yay stash busting, like Though it is unfortunate, I don't know where these things have come from or what they are. I feel like I can probably take a stab at what the pink is. I feel like it's some kind of like Malabrigo. Oh, I think it is. I don't know. Though it's sad I don't know what these things are, it is still super great that I can stash bust this way because, again, just using your stash, you can create beautiful things with your stash. Though it's fun to get new yarn, it is always fun to get new yarn. I think there's just something, I find it super rewarding when I can shop my stash, just kind of be creative with the things I already have and make things work, whether it's holding things double or holding two yarns together, whether they are the same color or not, which would be holding it double. Switching up needle sizes to get accurate gauge and use different weights. I don't know, there's just a lot of things that you can do to make things work using your stash, and I'm super excited about that. So yes, that is Wild Joy by Samantha Gurin. Okay, now we put this big thing back in there and it takes up the entire bag and everything's on the bottom. I'm taking this with me to work tomorrow or on Tuesday and Thursday because obviously I need to work on it. Also, I'm thinking to help myself, excuse me, to help myself just to make sure that I challenge myself, other than just getting things done, but that I challenge myself in knitting 2 sleeves at a time, that I do these sleeves for both these sweaters before I actually do the body, depending on how I'm feeling about it and if I just want to like knit like the wind. We will see. But honestly, I have no idea. Like, I don't know if it's more tricky or more challenging to do 2 sleeves at a time when you don't have a body of a sweater already there. Like, obviously I would knit like a couple inches after dividing for the sleeves just so there was like something there. I may do that just to try. I may do that with the worsted weight sweater, the Wild Joy one, over or before the Wild Poppy one. We will see. Just because I feel like it'll be easier, because with learning anything knitting wise, it's easier to do it with bigger needles and bigger yarn the first time around. So because I would have bigger needles and bigger yarn, opposed to big needles and small yarn, with the Wild Poppy, Wild Joy, big needles, big yarn, that would be an easier learning process. Right? Which may be even better than the wool and honey sweater, which was what I also wanted to work on and actually have down here. I have not made progress on it, but it is still my wool and honey sweater, and these sleeves need to get done. You know, these sleeves need to get done. So that is also a goal. You know, it will happen. I still got plenty of time. Like, it hasn't even been a week yet. So, I got plenty of time to figure things out. In addition to that, also, well, let's talk about this other thing before we move on, because this is not a test knit, but I have one more test knit that, besides these two, I have, and this big one, I have a test knit that I do not have my yarn for yet, which is very unfortunate. I had hoped that I would get it today, because it said that it was going to be delivered today, and I think it's just taking its sweet time getting here. So hopefully by the end of the day I will have it. But this is for the Jensen cardigan by Rachel of September Knits, and I am so excited. I am just really, really looking forward to casting this on. And again, you know what? It's probably going to be on the same needles, and I'm going to need another set, and I can put that one off until I finish at least one of these other ones. Probably Wild Poppy needs to be finished first because I believe that deadline is a little bit sooner, you know. Things to think about. But anyway, I'm very excited. I have actually, what am I trying to say? So I got my yarn from Hobby, Hobbii. They have really great quality yarn for a great price point. I am not sponsored by them, by the way. I realized I did not say that like last week, and I know it probably sounded like I was. I am not sponsored by them at all, though that would be very nice. I just really like their yarn. And, or the few experiences that I've had with them, I have found it to be very high quality. So I'm going another bigger than my head ball of yarn route, and I'm very excited to try it. I also, because I have the Chrome extension to find coupon codes and discounts and stuff, I got some mohair to potentially go with it, and if not, it'll go to something else because it's just a beautiful color. I need to check with Rachel first though, which I meant to do that last week and I completely forgot. So now that my yarn is hopefully going to be arriving sometime this afternoon or tomorrow, hopefully this afternoon, then we can have that conversation. But I'm very excited. Either way, it will be fun. It's like a, I think the, was it powder blush, I think was the color, the main color that I got. I think that's what it was. And then if I do use the mohair, it is like a tea rose color. It's very pretty. It's a little bit darker, and I think if I do use that, it would create beautiful dimension. But if not, then I still will just love the cardigan regardless. So I'm very excited. The cool thing about the Jensen cardigan is that I tested the pullover forever ago. It's a wonderful pattern. Rachel's patterns are very well written. She's just a wonderful person. I would highly recommend you checking out her other patterns. I've knit many of them. I will continue to knit them. They are just beautiful and stunning, and she puts so much work into them. She also creates a really wonderful testing experience. The timeline of testing for her is always just really big. And for someone who sometimes overextends themselves when it comes to testing, really appreciates this wide expanse flexibility of time, to not necessarily start right away, and to just kind of, we have our yarn gathering period of time, which is still happening, and there is no pressure to cast on before that time, before you even get your yarn, or even when you get your yarn. It is like, I don't know, it's just a really great testing experience. I love testing for Rachel. She is a sweetheart. So that is very exciting, and I hope that goes quickly, because I mean, it's a very straightforward V-neck cardigan. There may be pockets, I don't remember. There's a pretty big collar, not a terribly big collar. There's buttons, I do remember that. It's longer, I do remember that. I don't remember if there's pockets. I think there might be, I could be wrong. Either way, again, I'm super excited, so I don't know, we will see. We will see, we will see. Next up, there's something I want to finish. I want to finish this so badly. This is my Lumpy Space. This is by Stephen West. I am not sighing out of frustration towards the pattern. I'm just sighing out of frustration out of me putting this off and not working on it. Because that is literally why this has not gotten done. Also because I have other deadlines that need to be met, you know? Whoopie. Oh, dang it. Okay, I don't know what was going on with these 2 stitches, but dang it. Okay. No, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. That was dumb. I think it's an easy fix, but that was very unfortunate. That was very unfortunate. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's an easy fix. It'll be okay. Just being careless. I thought I was farther away from the tips of the needles than I thought I was. Lumpy Space by Stephen West. I have various yarns. We've got Hue Loco, we've got Farmer's Daughter's Fibers, we've got Manostil Uruguay. In my bag from Cassie of Big Sky Yarn Company, which is just so good, and I love this bag. And I have yarn from Cassie that I really want to, the Mandalorian mini skein set, and I just really want to knit with it, and I want to cast on all the things. I also really want this bubble cardigan. Like, I don't need it, but I want it. And I think it would be such a fun thing to knit, you know? I think I need to do it. It's just a matter of when, I think, is the real question. When do I do it? Because we know there will be a reward cast on at some point. When I get I think when all my tests are done, there will be a reward cast on. And I don't know what that will be. I do not know. But, because I have other things in mind as well. It may be a bubble cardigan. I don't know. We will wait and see. There's plenty of time to decide because I'm not finishing all of these things next week. I would like to. In a perfect world, I would, but that is not physically possible. Also because some of my yarn is not here yet. So that is also not possible to start it if you do not have your yarn. That is just, it's literally impossible. Anyway, so, you know, I think this is all the knitting that I have to discuss. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything else. I'm sorry that I do not have my Sunday Funday sweater to show you, but if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen pictures of it, because I did post pictures of me wearing it, and it is just so cute. It fits so well, and I think it will be a really good staple in my wardrobe. And I also tried a new yarn from Lion Brand, and I'm very excited, and I'm very pleased with how it turned out. Yes, so, what else do we have to talk about? So, that is all the, like, physical knitting that I have to talk about, but I did also want to mention to you guys that the Recalibrate top by Shanna Wines Designs, that I tested for her, last month, recently. I don't remember when that was. I feel like time is, oh, it is forever moving and constantly changing. Anyway, so I don't remember exactly when I test knit this, but I did test knit it for her, and it is out now. So if you have any interest in doing something very unique and learning how to modularly knit and, again, stash bust, if you so desire, you can make incredible changes as you go depending on the fit that you are looking for. I would highly recommend you going and getting her pattern. Also just taking a look at her other patterns, because again, she is just so incredible when it comes to designing fun and unique things. It was just a very, it was a fun knit. I was trying to think of a different word other than fun. It was entertaining. It was exciting. It was experimental for me. It was very cool. I would highly recommend you checking it out and just seeing all the other fun versions of the Recalibrate top that are out there. If you look on Instagram and the hashtag, there are just so many beautiful ones out there. People use handspun, people use mini skeins. You can see all the different sizes and like what they look like on everybody. It's just, it's a top that looks good on everyone regardless of the more positive ease, the less positive ease. It works on everybody, and I think that's just really incredible. And you can make tiny adjustments as you go, depending on what you are looking for a sweater that fits you just perfectly. And I think that's super cool, and it's just a very well written pattern. So that pattern is out now. Would highly recommend you checking it out. And yes, that is very fun. So I think that's all that I have. I know that this is a little bit of a shorter episode, but I'm so close to being done with this big thing, and then hopefully I will have just so much more to talk about. And hopefully I will have a new cast on this other test knit for next week, but we will see. We will see. I do not know. I'm making no promises. But anyway, that is all that I have for you guys for this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, for listening to me rant and ramble. I feel like today's episode was a little haphazard, but that's okay, because that is life. That is reality. Some days are a little bit more haphazard than others, and that's okay. Sometimes you don't have a ton of knitting content, and that is also okay, because that is reality. And sometimes it's okay to just rest and not knit, and that's also really wonderful, because resting is just as important and just as productive as doing things. Resting is important. So in case you needed that reminder, it's okay to take a rest. It's okay to take a break. It's important to take breaks. I have all my various social medias. I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Ravelry. I have show notes. I have yarn store information, all the places. If you have any questions, if I forget to include anything, which I maybe will, or if you just want to say hi, feel free to send me a message. I would love to have a little chat. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. Are you watching the Olympics? Do you have a favorite sport? Is there one that I need to be watching? I'm really down to watch whatever is on, basically, because, I mean, because I have so much knitting that needs to get done right now. It makes things very easy to just have it on. It's also nice to have it on in the background, because I love good background noise. It's just really great. I just really love the Olympics. I love it so much. Is that it? Is that everything? I think it is. Thank you for being you. You are wonderful. You are enough. Thank you for always coming back and watching my episodes, even when they are haphazard. It really does mean a lot to me. So thank you so much for always coming back, liking, subscribing, commenting, all that jazz. Yeah. So with that, I have nothing else to say, and I have no more knitting to show you. So with that, I will see you guys next week, hopefully with so much progress. We will see. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Very exciting things. Anyway, I will see you guys next week. Bye.